Yo, 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 welcome to Proper Things, the FPL show brought to you by the ttfplproleague. It's your boy Michael, and I know it's been a minute since I've done one of these videos. Hope you all didn't miss me too much, but it's been a hectic time, here in Trinidad. We had a lot of stuff going on, and the boy was one, let's say he was under the weather for a little bit. So I know you all missed me for a little bit, but we back in action after a hectic, a lot of doubles went down, some injuries going on heading into game week 28. But we have to carry on business as usual. So let's kick things off with a review of what happened in game week 27. Well, last episode, your boy was in the top 9K, looking to push into the top 8K. That was 3 game weeks ago. But now with a slew of Munoz hauls and some things going against me with assistant managers and the Glasner 2020 double, your boy slipped into the top 18K, but last game week I rose back into, let's say, 16.5K. So a little dip, doubling the rank, but with 2 Glasner 20s and Munoz absolutely still in the showing defense, I would absolutely take where I'm at considering all things that went against me. So looking at how the team did in game week 27, it was a small green arrow from the 18K to the 16.5K. I was a 61-point game week. Matt Sells delivering a massive 6 points. I really needed that. Keeping the clean sheet and the 0-0 with Arsenal. Castagna continues to disappoint. 2 points from him, but I got 2 clean sheets from Gabriel and Konate. Gabriel walking away with the bonus as well for 7 points. In midfield, new arrival, Bowen 6 points, Clive 10 points, Salah 6 double to 12. Palmer continues to just think up the place, only getting the clean sheet point for 3 points on the game week. And Mbuino, of course, with the assist for 5 points. Cunha came in as well. He blanked and will be suspended for the immediate future. So it's at least the next 3 games, possibly 4 or more for Cunha, as violent conduct in the FA Cup led to a red card. And it was also Chris Wood blank as well for 2 points. So I wish we had known that Isaac would miss the game week. So he unfortunately got subbed out for Chris Wood, and his fitness and all is up in the air for game week 28. And with game week 29 being a blank for the Swedish striker, I don't think that there are going to be a lot of patience if the injury news goes against him in the upcoming press conference. With that being said, let's take a look at the red flags in my team heading into game week 28. Well, looking at the team, firstly in goal, Sells with a surprising clean sheet versus Arsenal. I know Arsenal isn't the best attacking team in the Prem, but we just saw them hit 7 versus PSV in midweek. So the clean sheet was a welcome treat for us Sells owners. A tough game versus my team, Manchester City, this game week. But after that, he plays in 29 and the schedule looks better as we near the horizon. So Sells will keep his spot after coming through a difficult period. We wish Fabianski was the starting keeper for West Ham, but unfortunately, those dominoes didn't fall that way. So Sells keeps his spot, pretty content with the goalkeeping position. In defense, while my 5 defenders, I already have Gabriel and Konate are locked in this week. I could pick between the other 3 who I want to start. Munoz Mania is about to hit its apex. So if you don't have Munoz, you're going to be worried with Ipswich, Blank, and then Southampton at the either side of the blanks. With Munoz in the form of his life right now, he is becoming a problem for non-owners. We're seeing some massive falls. Even last game week, he somehow found the return. He assists for 4 points, so you can't just keep Munoz out of the action right now. And with 2 great fixtures, either side of a blank in 29, he is becoming a big problem. In midfield, red flag, Palmer plagues my progress as Palmer just can't seem to get an assist, a goal, anything. He just can't seem to get it going right now. The other 4 midfielders at least returned an assist. He does play in 29, does have Leicester in 28, so unfortunately he will have to stay. I know there's a lot of cold feet on the Englishman, but midfield will unfortunately have to stay the same with the blank in 29 being considered and with Palmer having a game. So unfortunately, can't move on the Englishman in the near future. And in attack, this is where all the red flags are sprouting. Wood Not a great fixture this game week, but his place is safe. New arrival Cunha came in for Watkins last game week. Didn't pay off as Watkins returned 5, Cunha 2, so already -3 there on that return. And now Cunha is suspended for the next 3 game weeks. So Cunha is a definite red flag, will not play in the next 3 and will have to be moved on sooner rather than later. And also Isaac is also, touch and go with the Carabao Cup final after game week 28. So Newcastle will have an eye on that. The only positive thing, if it's a positive, is that Newcastle plays on Monday. So we might not get a great update on the Swedish striker heading into this game week. But with the game being Monday, I think he'll have every chance to play, and it's a great fixture on paper. So what to do this game week? Up next is the solutions and plan transfers for my team for game week 28. Alright, so now that you have all the red flags, the first solution here is, remember I said, with all the Munoz Mania hitting its apex this game week and with great fixtures either side of the game week 29 blank, I think Munoz is a must-have at the 5 million. Wouldn't surprise me if he's 5.1 come the deadline for game week 28. Think that I have to have this asset. The question is now, who do I move on? With the news that Hall is out for the rest of the season, Livermore should be more locked in, and we know that Newcastle has a double on the horizon. Might possibly be 32, 33 we're looking at for Livermore, and Castagna has been underwhelming to say the least. So the plan right now is to bring Munoz in for one of Castagna or Livermore. Of course, if it's for Castagna, I will be having to play with 10 in game week 29, and if it's for Livermore, there's the possibility of still running an 11 out there. Not a nice 11 or favorable 11 anymore with the suspensions, but it's definitely on the cards. The other defender that I know a lot of people are looking into is Alt-Nouri, but I think Alt-Nouri is more a transfer for me if I'm looking to move on Kanati in 29. So I'll be able to play a 4-5-1 in game week 29 with those transfers. So that is the plan in defense. In midfield, not looking to make any midfield changes this game week, but one midfielder that would be on my radar if I do have the ability to make a transfer, it would be Bruno Fernandes for 8.3. Not necessarily for the Arsenal game, but a massive fixture on cards for game week 29. All the free hitters are going to be lining up Bruno to bring into their team, as he's a captaincy option in game week 29. So if you have the option or you need a midfielder, if you're a Gordon owner and you have the available coppers, I think Bruno could be your guy. Regarding the Chelsea mids, I think you've missed the train. There are still points to be had versus Leicester, but last week was the week to go in on them. However, if you have a wild card up your sleeve, maybe you take the points this week. Take the roll at the points, I should say, this week. Play them versus Arsenal as they do have a game. And then what may you move them on in 30-31 according to your team structure. But I do think Bruno is the guy a lot more. Most people will be eyeing up this game week. And finally, in the forward line, this is where the money is going to be made for myself. A lot of people are eyeing up a double move where they'd be moving on Palmer or Salah to a cheaper midfield option and then upgrading their Cunhas, their Isaacs for Erling Haaland. A lot of people are loving Erling Haaland, especially since he plays in 29, Leicester in 30, so it's a great move to bring in this guy, but we know that he is going to be very expensive. If you're one who doesn't have the budget or the coppers available, the two best options for me on paper is Erling Haaland's teammate Marmoush at 7.2 million. He already has his first Premier League hat-trick, and again, this guy cannot cover Haaland. He is an alternative to Haaland if you can't afford the Norwegian hitman. So just remember that he's not there to cover him. I don't think there's a striker who could cover him, but he's an alternative. And of course, Old Faithful in Visa at 6.3. There's going to be movement as well for Beto, very cheap. Plays in 28, 29, been in great form as well. Jimenez, a lot of movement there as well. I don't really fancy him as much as we're seeing Munez take some minutes off him in the recent fixtures. So that brings me now to my proposed move for game week 28. And here it is. Right now, it's going to be Munoz in for one of Livermore or Castagna. Of course, I know whichever pathway I make is going to limit the amount of players I have available for 29 if I don't want to take a hit. But I think Munoz is such a great option for 28 and 30, so highly owned, and he's burned me so much, and I would want him to Crystal Palace double already on the cards. He'll definitely be in my team for 28. However, the only thing that could change is if we get news ahead of time that Isaac can't go in 28. If Isaac can't go in 28, that means I'll have to move Cunha on for one of Marmoush or Visa. Right now, I'm leaning towards Visa because the Marmoush and his price point is going to mean that I can't get Erling Haaland. So I'll definitely be looking to see if I could get Haaland in, especially for Game Week 30. So the Visa in for Cunha would be the better move for my team. But right now, all things considered, and I think that Isaac will be able to go in 28, the move is going to be Munoz in for one of Castagna or Livramento. And before we get to captaincy corner, I know a lot of people are asking on my chip strategy, and currently I don't have my wildcard or my assistant manager. Those two have already been used. So, but I do have my bench boost, triple captain, and of course free hit. Short and simple, if anyone tells you they have a concrete strategy at the moment, then be prepared for it to change, as the picture is blurry right now. Aston Villa progressing in Europe as they are currently 3-1 up throws a huge spanner in the works, and the FA Cup quarters on the horizon also makes the picture a lot more blurry. I think that the best strategy is to wait and see how the quarters play off, as after that we'll have a clear picture on what is about to go on to 31 and going forward. However, if your team is already in dire straits and you need to play the free hit in 29 in order to feel a great team, I'm not against it. If you have to take a -4 or possibly a -8 to get 2 assets you really want for Game Week 29, then I'm not against it. The hits are basically a -2 that game week. So right now, chip strategy, it will become a lot clearer after the quarters. And now the final piece of business after you've gotten all the information is, of course, who to put the armband on and have no fear as captaincy corner is here. Well, the best captaincy option is the guy that's been ruling the roost for the last couple of weeks. Is going to be Mo Salah versus one of the worst teams in the league in Southampton. I don't think any more explanation is needed there. However, there's an opportunity to go against Salah this week, and it's against a formidable foe in Parma versus Leicester. So Southampton and Leicester are probably the 2 worst teams in the Premier League. May be asking why Parma? Well, this game for Liverpool is sandwiched in between 2 legs with PSG. So we are waiting to see how the first leg goes. If it's a tight game heading back to Anfield, the Liverpool players may be on a little minute restriction because the return leg is going to be played on Tuesday. So something to keep an eye on. We know Parma is good for 90 minutes. Leicester is really bad. But can Parma finally break the jinx or the blank or whatever is going on with him, the blight or whatnot? It's a great week to go Parma if you have that gut feeling, but you have to go with your gut. In third, it's going to be Neto and Cunha. I'm going to add Jota in here, the mixed bag players. Again, you have these players, you're going to go up against Salah and maybe Parma, so not really a risky week. And 4, with the injury concern, it's Isaac. If he goes, he's a great option, but we are seeing Wilson take some minutes off him, so I don't think he goes more than 70 if he does play. So a lot of trepidation there. And finally, 5, the tricky ball play this week is the most expensive player in the game. We're speaking about Erling Haaland versus Forest. Great defense, but it's Erling Haaland. Not a lot of people are going to have him heading into 28, 29, 30s, where his ownership is going to apex, is going to peak. So a great chance here to go Erling before the crowd goes in for him. And that concludes Captaincy Corner for Game Week 28. And that concludes this week's episode of Proper Things. I know y'all missed me a lot in the last few weeks. But the boy is back and he's ready to take you all the way to the end of the season. I hope you all had a great game week in Game Week 27 and an even better one in Game Week 28. And don't forget to go down in the comment section. Let me hear what you all think. If you all missed me, if you didn't miss me. If you all have better picks, alternative picks. If the pick's not picking, if you think that Glasnow was the home run of the season, if you're liking your assistant manager chip or not. And while you're there, don't forget to like the video. You know, Really appreciate you all liking the videos. And of course, subscribe to the channel. A lot of people subscribe to the channel, liking the content. So with that being said, game week 28 on the horizon and the home stretch right after that. Best of luck, and don't forget to do proper things in all walks of life. I'll see you all next week.